It's your prom night. Tonight will be made of lifelong memories. You've spent weeks preparing for this night. You are at the venue, as you have been for a while now, and you notice that a group of your friends hasn't shown up yet. You think, well, maybe they're just caught up with something. In reality, they're actually at Jeff's house, pre-gaming. Cameron has been pre-gaming a little bit too hard, and he's been in the bathroom for about an hour now, throwing up. When he comes out, he's pale, almost blue, with his breathing at only 8 breaths per minute. The kids, they knew better than to drive drunk. That's why they never showed up at prom. However, they didn't know about alcohol poisoning. Cameron died later that night. And he died because the group of friends were not comfortable with calling 911 in order to get Cameron help. Situations like this is all too common and happen way too often. So often, in fact, that 36 states lawmakers have passed the Lifeline Law. The Lifeline Law provides legal immunity to anyone underage drinking and allows them the opportunity to call the proper authorities to get the help they need to save their life. Lowering the minimum legal drinking age will help young adults become more responsible with their decisions regarding alcohol. Today I'll be telling you about why the minimum legal drinking age was raised from 18 to 21 in the first place. I will also be telling you about solutions we have to current underage drinking problems. And I will lastly be telling you about why it is an ideal scenario to lower the legal drinking age. So first things first, what is the minimum legal drinking age? Well, the Minimum Legal Drinking Age Act of 1984 states that it prohibits the Secretary of Transportation from approving any federal aided highway projects in states in which the purchase or public possession of alcoholic beverages by persons less than 21 years of age is lawful. Pretty much, their funding was cut for highways, and that is why it is now illegal in all states to drink under the age of 21. So how did this happen? Well, in 1970, MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, had seen a rise in drunk driving fatalities amongst young adults. And so they said something to the lawmakers and legislators, and they had this in response. So, according to a study shown on National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, updated January 2020, by age 15, 30% of teens have had at least one drink. By age 18, 58% of teens had at least one drink. So the number almost doubles just in 3 years. According to Dr. R.C. Ings in her article, Why the Drinking Age Should Be Lowered, an opinion based upon research published in 2014, she states and has researched that 22 of all students under the age of 21 are heavy drinkers. That number decreases to 18% of all students over 21 are heavy drinkers. So that tells us that students under the age of 21 are a lot more irresponsible with their decisions regarding alcohol. Also, that is also reflected in all drinkers. 32% of all drinkers under the age of 21 are heavy drinkers. That number is reduced to 24% of all drinkers over the age of 21 are heavy drinkers. So, do we have any proof that lowering the minimum legal drinking age works? Yes. In the United States, according to drinkingage.procon.org, in their article, Should the Drinking Age Be Lowered from 21 to a Younger Age, published April 2nd, 2019, in the United States, 31% of road traffic deaths involved alcohol. Compared to in France at 29% with their minimum legal drinking age of 18. In Great Britain, that number reduces even further to 16% with their minimum legal drinking age at 18. And in Germany, that much further, with only 9% of their vehicle fatalities involving alcohol, with their minimum legal drinking age at 16. So this evidence suggests that the longer period of time that someone has to adjust to alcohol, the better decisions they will make regarding alcohol. So, what can you do when you turn 18? You can vote, you can marry, you can play in the lottery, you can join the armed forces. So the controversy surrounding the issue of lowering the minimum legal drinking age is that it'll cause a rise in vehicle fatalities. Well, that evidence that we just seen suggested otherwise. The other controversy that we find is that, well, it'll open up to a huge portion of the population bars and nightclubs, which are inherently unsafe environments. On the other hand, we also have the controversy that, like in the story, we have, young adults who are afraid to call 911 in situations of emergency, and they die because of it. Actually, when I was in the military, a gentleman who is 19 years of age was in barracks room with two underage girls. They decided that they were going to partake in alcohol that his roommate had in their, prior to that day. While they were drinking, the male had challenged one of the females to a drinking contest. And in the middle of the contest, that girl actually had a seizure due to epilepsy. And because they were all underage drinking, he didn't want to call 911. And so the girl eventually got help because of an NCO coming by and hearing the commotion in the room, or a non-commissioned officer coming by and not hearing the commotion in the room, and she went to the hospital. Unfortunately, she still later died because of a head injury that she had sustained in her fall, and it had done too much damage to be recuperated. So what is the solution? Well, the solution is to take the federal government out of it. It is to allow the states to govern themselves on the matter. To do this, to balance out the lower drinking age, we should have stricter DUI/DWI laws. So instead of having the legal limit be 0.08, have it at 0.02 or 0.01. That would be across the board for anybody. Also, we could implement drinking permits. Drinking permits would require someone to go through a class about alcohol. It would teach them all the laws pertaining to alcohol. It would teach them about the acceptable drink limit. It would teach them the expectations of someone who is drinking. It would also teach them about how alcohol affects and influences your decisions and how to counteract that. And it would also give suggestions about or alternatives to drinking and driving. So even if nothing is done about the wide issue of lowering the minimum legal drinking age, think about those in the military. You know, they're allowed to go into this profession where they go into war to fight for the country and possibly die. They are entrusted with weapons of mass destruction, yet they can't order a beer with their wings. It's completely absurd. So why would these solutions be a good idea? It would ensure that all persons partaking in alcohol would be knowledgeable about the substance that they are using. Young adults would no longer see it as a challenge to their adulthood, because a lot of young kids go out and they see all these adults drinking and they're like, well, I'm an adult too, why can't I drink? It would also pretty much eliminate the possibility of young adults dying to alcohol-related incidences, such as my two stories. It would also decrease unsafe drinking activities by placing young adults in not only regulated but also safe environments with their trusted friends, close friends, and family. So ways that you can help in this is to contact your local legislators, also your state legislators, and let them know your thoughts on the situation. You can also go to change.org. There are a number of petitions up on change.org about lowering the minimum legal drinking age. And with that, I've told you about why the minimum legal drinking age was raised from 18 to 21 in the first place. I have told you about the solutions that we have to our current underage drinking issues. And I have also told you about the reasons why it would be ideal for these solutions to be adopted. So, lowering the minimum legal drinking age will help young adults become more responsible in their decisions concerning alcohol. I know that America isn't the greatest at following what other countries are doing in the world, but this could potentially help the nation as a whole in its fight against underage drinking. Thank you.